your Weather Authority forecast first, brought to you by Todd Shore's McClarty Ford.
And good evening, meteorologist Jesse Kelly here today. The heat was on here to the Architect, still seeing temperature of 100 degrees here in Shreveport, 94 degrees in Texarkana, 97 degrees right now in Natchitoches, and temperatures over the next couple of hours continue to fall down into the 80s as we get around midnight. As a quick look at your Todd Shore's McClarty Ford forecast first, and the news starts
now. From your community, local news that matters. This is NBC 6 News at 6.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Jenna Jordan. Alex has the night off. In tonight's top story, police in Texarkana, Texas are searching for a suspect they say shot two men outside a restaurant, and they're asking for your help finding him. They're looking for this man, 30-year-old Calvin Gardner. It happened at Waffle House on North State Line Avenue early this morning. Officers say they arrived on the scene to find two men with gunshot wounds. Both victims are now recovering at the hospital. Gardner was last seen headed south on State Line Avenue in a white Lincoln Navigator. If you have any information about his location, call police. A store employee is in the spotlight tonight after his quick thinking stopped a purse snatcher in his tracks. The young hero spoke with NBC 6's Dominique Dillon this afternoon.
On the football field, you would never know 26-year-old Juwan Scott is autistic. He is fearless as he catches the ball, bobbing and weaving through defenders.
I always enjoy the sports every day.
So it was no surprise to people close to Juwan when they heard he tackled a man who stole a woman's purse while he was at work Thursday.
And I had to chase him, saying that's not right.
Once Juwan caught up with the culprit in this photo, the suspect punched and kicked him, but Juwan won the battle and saved the purse.
They can't just do easy way outs or just sneak or just take something, because it's just like a lazy, pathetic excuse for a thing.
In a Facebook post, the woman Juwan helped thanked him, calling him a hero.
He does help a lot of people over there at Brookshire's, and we've gotten a lot of accolades from him, from customers about him.
Satara Scott, Juwan's mom, says she's very proud of her son.
I'm just grateful to God that he made it through and that Miss Crystal got her purse back.
As for Juwan, he says he will continue being the best employee he can be and helping people in need.
The real man stands for what is right and never walk away from something that is something going wrong.
Dominique Dillon reporting.
And if you know who this is, call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen for a reward. Continuing coverage, this week we brought you Scott Goldstein's story from inside a Willis-Knighton hospital room. Now the hospital's pulmonary specialist says he strongly believes vaping caused the injury to Goldstein's lungs. Goldstein says his lungs have crystallized. The specialist believes the condition's a result of Goldstein's use of e-cigarettes. He says he's been vaping for more than a decade. Several GoFundMe accounts have been set up to help Goldstein. Head to our website, arclatexhomepage.com, if you'd like to help. Meanwhile, the CDC is changing how it reports vaping-related illnesses. Based on the new reporting, that makes a total of 380 confirmed and probable cases of severe lung illnesses linked to e-cigarettes in 36 states, including Louisiana. 6 deaths have been reported. An update now in the case involving a murdered Barksdale airman. The widow of Tech Sergeant Joshua Kidd has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against 2 homeowners associations. The civil lawsuit filed by Alyssa Kidd claims a faulty fence could have allowed her husband's accused killers easy access to Green Acres Place neighborhood. She's suing the Green Acres Place Homeowners Association, the Carriage Quarters Condominium Association, and 2 insurance companies. The lawsuit does not say what Kidd seeks in damages. Jerona Crosby and Alonzo Wilson are accused of shooting and killing Kidd. In regional news, a 10-year-old's quick thinking helped save a Little Rock teacher left gasping for air in front of her class. Susan Elcory says the student who stepped in to help wasn't even supposed to be in the class.
No workbooks in this kindergarten class. Tell students what to do when their teacher almost stops breathing.
I didn't know how to ask for help because I couldn't talk.
Luckily, Kim Rosby didn't need to instruct Nivea Woods.
Her instincts just kicked in.
The 10-year-old knew just what to do.
My new buddy. Ooh.
When the Little Rock teacher had an asthma attack.
My family is indebted to you.
Normally, Rosby wears this bag around Meadowcliff Elementary. An inhaler tucked inside.
This particular morning, I decided to lock my purse up in the car.
While trying to teach her 18 students, things took a turn.
It snuck up on me. It happened quickly.
Just so happens this 5th grader stopped by to volunteer, quickly noticing something was wrong.
She just started coughing and everything. and she went to her desk and she couldn't talk.
I grabbed my keys and started shaking them.
And she handed me the keys and I went out there and got it.
Within a few minutes, Rosby says she was back on her feet, a sigh of relief that left her with one question.
How did you know that I needed my asthma pump?
I usually see her around carrying it in her purse.
That life-saving observation.
I have thanked her so much, and I've hugged her so much.
Leaving this class with a lesson that doesn't need repeating.
I was one of the blessed ones.
Living local and an annual music festival is hitting another high note. Thousands of folks filled Columbia Park today for the 16th annual Highland Jazz and Blues Festival. Musicians from Northwest Louisiana and across the country performed on 2 stages, filling the air with nonstop music. But the community event is about more than the music. There are also dozens of food and art vendors on site and a kids zone.
I love jazz. I love blues. That's my thing. I just love it. We just came out to be with family, enjoy the atmosphere, and get some good food.
Organizers say this free music festival is a gift to the community from the Highland Area Partnership. Education matters, and dozens of parents are now better prepared to help their kids for the future. The Caddo Parish School Board hosted a back-to-school celebration today. This event allowed parents to connect with educational, community, and medical agencies. During the event, they also raffled off several prizes.
It's so important because we're trying to educate parents in order to help to educate their children so we can have a better community.
The next event will focus on preparing students for LEAP, a state test. That event is scheduled for October 5th. And some junior journalists in Atlanta, Texas are now ready to report the news that matters to their classmates. I got the chance to share some tips with them yesterday when I visited with students selected to participate in Rabbit News Network, or RNN. Friday was the first newscast of the semester for the 4th and 5th graders. The news show is one of the activities students could select as a part of the school's BEST program, and that's believing in every student's talent. Community matters, and a $5.5 million project will help the Food Bank of Northwest Louisiana offer more services to the community. NBC6's Markel Sinnett shares a sneak peek.
The Food Bank of Northwest Louisiana has been in this same location on Texas Avenue for 20 years. In the 90s, the food bank started distributing 1 million pounds of food a year. Since then, distribution has grown to 1 million pounds of food a month.
We have clearly recognized that we cannot continue the type of growth that we've had in the same building.
This building was purchased in 2015 and is currently undergoing renovations. It will provide a 40,000 square foot warehouse and 6,000 square feet of office space.
And the primary reason, not just to provide more food to the folks that live in Northwest Louisiana, but healthy food. Healthy food is refrigerated food, and our new home will have 7 times the refrigerated and frozen capacity that we have at our current location.
Martha Merrick, the executive director, is working to ensure the food bank doesn't incur any debt and only has $900,000 more to go to reach their fundraising goal.
We really feel like there's someone out there that's going to help us reach our goal.
She's hoping a group or family can make a large donation and have the new facility named after them.
Hunger is something that a lot of people either forget about or maybe remember at certain times, and everyone can play a part in this.
And that was Markel Sinnett reporting. The food bank is holding a groundbreaking for their new location in South Shreveport September 24th. Their goal is to be moved into their new facility next fall. One of the biggest events in Texarkana is back and bigger than ever. Gates are now open for the 75th annual 4 States Fair and Rodeo. This year there's a new carnival midway with more rides and, of course, all your fried food favorites. Organizers are expecting more than 100,000 people to attend over the 10-day event.
Come early so you can be sure and get in the parking lot. We do have some additional parking this year available, and so we're looking forward to being able to accommodate those crowds, but just everyone come, be patient. There's plenty of stuff to do for everyone, and we'll get you in.
Fair admission is $7 for adults and $5 for kids. You can find more information at arclitexhomepage.com. Well, everyone has something that they're extremely passionate about. Coming up, the inspiring story of one high schooler who's not giving up on a game that's changed his life forever. But first, here's Jesse.
Well, gentlemen, today was another hot afternoon here throughout all the architects here in Texarkana. We saw a temperature of 97 degrees, not much rain. The trend of not seeing much rain will continue over the next 7 days. Your upcoming forecast is after the break.
Now, your Weather Authority forecast with Jesse Kelly, certified the most accurate forecast in the Arklatex.
Another 90-something degree day, Jesse.
And you know what, Jenna? It's going to continue for the next couple of days. So,
is fall ever going to come?
Yeah, November will be here soon. December will be here soon. So, if you're looking for some cooler weather, it'll be here eventually. All right, here's a look at what's going on outside right now. 96 degrees here in Shreveport, 94 degrees in Texarkana. Here in Shreveport, we did see a daytime high of 100 degrees. Radar is showing a few isolated to scattered thunderstorms out there, mainly from Shreveport down towards the south and east. You can see a few thunderstorms in between Shreveport and Mansfield near Interstate 49. Also see another few thunderstorms here across the southern parts of DeSoto Parish, even across the northern half of Sabine Parish. Other than that, things are quiet. Seeing a few isolated showers off towards the west into portions of Gregg County into Texas. Other than that, things are quiet. We do have an area of low pressure out into the Gulf of Mexico. We'll talk more about that in just a second. Otherwise, things are very quiet. That area of low pressure I just mentioned right there will begin to work its way off towards the west. However, that poses no threat to us here. Into the tropics, we're still watching two areas of interest. We do have a tropical wave just west of Africa, which now has about a 50 to even a 60% chance of development over the next 5 days. We watch that very carefully. And then back to the area of low pressure that's out into the Gulf of Mexico right now. This has a 30% chance of development as we'll be working its way off towards the west. We'll be bringing heavy rain potentially to the coastline of Texas. So we'll be on the southern end of this, so not expecting much rain from the system as we still continue to see lots of high pressure into the upper parts of the atmosphere, which is not allowing us to see much of rain. Keeping with the tropics theme, we're still looking at Tropical Storm Umberto, which has winds of 50 miles an hour. It's now working its way off towards the north-northwest at 7, so hopefully it's continue to work its way towards the north and continue to move out of the Bahamas, which still is cleaning up after Dorian went through. So it will continue to work its way off towards the northwest and eventually make a right-hand turn back out into the open Atlantic, but that poses no threat to anyone as it strengthens into a category 1 to even a category 2 storm. But back home, Robin, if you guys shows those thunderstorms we're seeing right now will begin to wind down as soon as the sun sets. And then as we get into your Sunday, we'll see more of the same, partly cloudy skies, hot conditions. Now we could see a few pop-up thunderstorms here or there, but most of us should remain rain-free. So again, could see a few thunderstorms south of Shreveport. And the same thing for your Monday. We'll see partly cloudy skies, very hot conditions, see those winds out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We could see a few isolated thunderstorms out there, but again, most of us should remain rain-free. As we continue to see this ridge of high pressure in place, now the ridge of high pressure will break down by Tuesday and Wednesday, which could lead to a few isolated thunderstorms by then, or a slightly better chance of seeing a few isolated thunderstorms by then. But as we end the next 7 days, the ridge of high pressure builds right back over the region, shutting down significant rain chances as most of the rain will be well towards the north or well down towards the south. So if you see rain over the next 7 days, consider yourself very lucky. Tomorrow, another hot one. We'll see a temperature of 99 degrees here in Shreveport, 99 in Atlanta, 99 to Natchitoches, seeing temperature of 98 degrees into Magnolia. And your next 7 days shows not much heat relief. 97 degrees for Monday, same thing for Tuesday. At best, Jen, I do have a 20% rain chance in there for Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. So again, if you see any rain out there the next 7 days, consider yourself very lucky. So again, until this ridge of high pressure breaks down, not expecting any significant rain here into the Arklatex anytime soon, which is not good news as drought conditions will likely only get worse.
At least we know what to expect. I mean, we've prepared for the heat, we're used to it now, so.
Although models are showing that over the next couple of weeks we could see a cool down, but it all depends on if the ridge of high pressure breaks down.
Okay, well, I've got some good news here. Maybe the 100 degrees is in honor of this special lady. Okay. A well-known Shreveport woman is celebrating her 100th birthday tonight. Willie Maud Lee was moved to Dallas at the age of 95 due to health reasons. Lee was the oldest of 10 siblings. She gave birth to 9 children and has 28 grandchildren, 58 great-grandchildren, 4 great-great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-great-grandchild. Lee was the mother of the church for Jewel Street Missionary Baptist for more than 40 years. Her actual birthday is Wednesday, so we wish her a very happy birthday. And still to come, a high school student is back on the gridiron after a terrible accident. He's sharing his story on why he doesn't let his new obstacle stop him from doing what he loves.
You're watching NBC 6 News at 6.
International headlines, a California high school sophomore is back on the football field, not letting a major injury get in the way of the game. Kirsten Mitchell has his inspiring story.
When PJ Kuzmitsky is on the field, he always brings his A game. And his A-plus smile.
Always put a smile on your face, you know. There's always a bright side. You always got to chase the bright side.
So much positivity for a 16-year-old who has been through so much the past 2 years. An injury at football practice in 2017 resulted in the amputation of part of his leg.
If there's any chance of me getting back into the sport, I'm going to try and do it.
That dedication brought him to where he is now, back on the field, even scoring a touchdown for the Badgers during his first game.
Touchdown, baby! Yes!
I'm pretty sure a lot of those kids thought for a while, we're probably never going to play with PJ again. And for him to come back like this and play is just, it's an inspiration.
It's the thing I love most in life. It's what I get the most enjoyment out of. You know, it's what really drives my life in general. And I couldn't stand being able to really sit out and just be able to watch that.
For PJ's mom, Susie,
you don't sign those waivers expecting for your child to lose a limb.
The return to football comes with mixed emotions.
A Badger down on the field.
And nerves.
Looked like a sprained ankle, maybe.
All worth it to see her son follow his dreams.
He is taking it so incredibly well. He doesn't think of it as a handicap. He thinks of it as being normal.
It's really, really slippery, and you see it's all taped up and everything.
As PJ adjusts to a new norm,
it comes off. Sometimes it comes off.
He's looking forward to getting a new athletic prosthetic and continuing his promising wrestling career.
Don't ever stop doing what you love. That's the only thing that's going to get you through it.
PJ says he also wants to try playing baseball. He's hoping to continue playing sports in college. Well, coming up, Jory Paris brings us a preview of tonight's LSU Northwestern State game after the break.
Now from the Holmes Auto Family Sports Desk. Sports with Jory Perry's.
Welcome into Tiger Stadium and week 3 of the college football season. The Northwestern State Demons paying a visit to Death Valley for the first time since 2011 tonight, and they will step in front of 102,000 fans as 51.5-point underdogs to this top 5 opponent in LSU. Now the Demons have not started their season off the way they would have liked, being 0-2 and falling to a Division II opponent in Midwestern State just last week in their home opener. Now on the complete opposite end of that spectrum, LSU getting a significant road win against what was a top 10 ranked Texas team last weekend, and they're 2-0 on their season. Coach Laird saying tonight the Demons are just going to have to stay focused.
You know, our focal point, just like it has been the first 2 games, is going to be about us. You know, what can we do on Sunday night? What can we do on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to put ourselves in position to be the best team that we can be Saturday night? We have not done those things. You know, we've done them in certain areas well. We've done them at certain times well. But we have not been consistent in doing that. So, you know, the focal point will always be on us and our preparation, really no matter who we're playing on Saturday.
We started off fast the first week and then we started off slow this week. You know, it doesn't matter the opponent at all. You start off slow, you're not going to do well. It's going to be hard to catch up the whole game. You know, we just got to start faster. That's the main thing that we learned this week, just to start faster.
So it's an in-state matchup that will mean a lot to both sidelines tonight as Ed Orgeron goes up against his alma mater in NSU. Kickoff for this one set for 6:30, and we'll have highlights tonight on our Johnny's Pizza Saturday Night College Football Blitz. But for now, reporting here at Tiger Stadium, I'm Jory Berries. That's going to do it for sports. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Scroll it so I can see it, but
I did reprint for you.
Thank you.
Little homage to This Is Halloween.
Thank you.
30 seconds. Half a minute.
Watching NBC 6 News at 6.
Welcome back, boys and girls of every age. Wouldn't you like to see something strange? 6 Ohio couples walked down the aisle on Friday the 13th in a spooktacular fashion. Halloween weekend season kicked off at Cedar Point, and what better way to celebrate than a zombie-themed wedding? The weddings were hosted together in front of a large crowd of family, friends, and curious spectators. The couples were selected during a contest in which they had to explain why they would be the perfect fit for a zombie-themed wedding. One zombie couple says it was the best way to celebrate their special day.
Absolutely perfect. I mean, it's we were anxious for the week or 2 weeks,
2 weeks
building up, waiting to find out who won. So
yeah,
and my family was like super stoked.
Yeah,
because my mom's a horror junkie.
We knew we were getting married soon, and we figured it'd be right up our alley. We met when I was in costume.
She was in cosplay,
actually, so we thought it was pretty appropriate and thought it'd be fun.
On top of yesterday being Friday the 13th, it was also a full moon, perfect for a spooky wedding. Yeah, these guys went all out.
They definitely did. You know, the full moon last night on the 13th was simply spectacular. Now, unfortunately, if you didn't see the moon, well, you have to wait 30 years from now, all the way on August 13th, 2049.
Oh, wow.
And one thing that's not spooky, well, you know, Halloween will be here next month. It'd be nice to feel some Halloween weather, some cooler weather. Unfortunately, we're going to see more summer weather for the next 7 days.
We'll get there eventually.
Eventually.
That's it for us. Hope to see you later tonight. Have a good evening.
NBC 6 News is now on Alexa. Now you have local news that matters at the sound of your voice.